Man United's move for Ugarte, according to some reports, looks as though it's fairly imminent at this point. It looks like a loan with an obligation to buy is going to be Man United's best bet over the course of the next week. Having watched United's first game, how important do you think a signing of Ugarte is going to be for them to try and progress further this season, gents? I'll go to Potsy first on this one.
Yeah, I think it's needed, if I'm honest. I think Manchester United have looked to stack their defence and midfield. I still have question marks over the goal scoring, and I'll come back to that. But I think the midfield of Ugarte, Kobbie Mainoo and Bruno Fernandes has a little bit of everything, if I'm honest. I think Manuel Ugarte is that six that I think Manchester United need. I think Kobbie Mainoo, although can play there, I actually think can do a really good job in the box-to-box. And I think Bruno's definitely a number 10. So I think if you're looking at that type of midfield, you can go with it. What you can also do with Ugarte and Kobbie Mainoo is allow them to play double pivot and let Bruno play in the 10 as well. So I think this will be a really good signing for Manchester United. And if for a loan with an obligation, I think that's really good, man. He's only 23 years old as well, and he was highly rated at Sporting Lisbon. Hasn't worked for him at PSG. That doesn't mean that he's a bad player. We've seen other players go there and not do so well. But for me, I think it's a really good signing for Manchester United. And they're actually stacking up their midfield now, Man United. I know Scott McTominay is rumoured to leave, but obviously they've still got Mason Mount that hasn't really got into the swing of it yet, if I'm honest, at Manchester United. So I think it would be a good signing. With Manchester United, I think what that will do is complement what they've already got, but also what it will do is give a little bit of stability with what they bought at centre-back as well. Because obviously, De Ligt coming in alongside Lisandro Martinez, Lenny Yoro is going to be a backup cover with his injury at the moment. I thought Mazraoui looked really good the other night, and I think that's a really shrewd signing. For me, I think that's really good. Dalot, I think, needs to just stay at right back, though, if I'm honest. I think he's a better right back than left back. But for me, I wasn't too impressed with Manchester United in front of goal. I still think they're lacking that. I thought Xerxes' finish was actually decent, to be fair. But I still think they might need something more across the front three, Man United, before they are ready to go to that next sort of leap. But I have question marks over Ten Hag still. If I'm honest, I still don't quite get a style of play. So I'll be interested to see if that develops under a new structure. But certainly for me, I think the Ugarte deal would be decent. And I think if you look at the players you've bought in, maybe with one more coming in after Ugarte across the front three, I think for a first window, Man United can say that's fair, to be honest. I think that's a good window. So, yeah, man, it's not going to be ready yet, but I honestly believe the new structure, Manchester United will get there in a couple of years and they'll be fighting at the top again. I just don't think it'll be this season.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't impressed with United, man. I thought it was very, very similar to what I saw last year. I thought Fulham got some good moments as well. Yeah, he created a few chances, but again, I just wasn't impressed. It was the first game, so we've got to be fair. We said it was first game for Spurs. We've got to say it's first game for United. I still don't believe you will be successful with this manager. I don't. Now, time will tell, but he's been here 2 years. I'm not seeing enough. Fulham, I didn't think he was very good, and I just don't believe this manager is going to get you to the level that you need it to be. I say time will tell. We'll see. Ugarte, yeah. I mean, again, I was expecting to... Bro, the way United fans have been going on in pre-season about Casemiro, I was expecting Casemiro to be absolutely awful against Fulham. I was pretty excited to watch it because all United fans have said he's been like so dead in like pre-season. I actually didn't think it was that bad, but obviously he's coming towards the end of his career at United and you need someone else. So Ugarte would be decent. I agree with Popsy. I still think you need more in the forward line. I don't think you've got enough. Is Diallo and Garnacho ready and good enough for the here and now? Not sure. Rashford, don't know. Is he going to enter a purple patch again? Because he's a purple patch player. I still think you need a bit more, and I still have massive, massive doubts about your manager. Massive doubts.
I get the doubts about the manager, and they're not going to go away for anybody until we're playing very well on a regular basis. I felt on Friday, I thought I was very fair with this. It reminded me very much of the game against City. First 20 minutes, we looked the same as last year. Couldn't control the ball, being run all over. We weren't really conceding gilt-edged chances. It was that one shot from outside the box. So we were defending well as a unit, but we were still not. We were awful on the ball, and it was annoying me. But then, just like against City, we had one good passage of play and then dominated the rest of the first half. And we should have gone in 2-0 up. Bruno should have scored both his chances. They were gilt-edged. And the second one especially was very well put together. And I felt as though, for a few things, if we'd have scored one of those goals, the confidence then starts to flow. Same as against yourselves. I think if we'd have scored earlier in that game against yourselves, we could have gone on to score some more. It was just both games running, our goals came too late before you start getting that surge of confidence that a goal brings you. We saw Liverpool at the weekend play well in the second half. As soon as they scored that goal, the control just came because they kind of settled their nerves. So I think we need to play better earlier, and that's a tactical thing. So there's that. Also, I was thinking, what if Xerxes or Rasmus was actually created those 2 chances that Bruno had? We rarely last season created 2 chances in a game that clear cut for our striker. And Bruno essentially was playing the striker role. So if we can do that more readily, and we also did it against yourselves, I thought some of the chances we created against City in the Community Shield, what would a number 9 in that position do versus players like Mason Mount didn't make the right run for Ahmad when he got into the box because Mason Mount don't think like a striker. I can't hear you, bro.
Sorry,
You speak.
I didn't realize I was muted. What is Mason Mount actually in the team to do? Genuine question. What's his role in the squad?
Do you know what he did? He did what he did really well, and the stats came out and proved it. Is what he's ability to press, win back possession. All of that is really good. I don't even think he's that bad on the ball. My problem with Mount, and I don't know how this can be. I think squats maybe lots of gym work. He's so lightweight on the ball. If he gets the ball and turns, he sometimes turns a player and he's away. All you have to do is put a little bit of weight on his back and he's gone. Like he is so weak as a professional football player. It annoys me because I feel like if certain other players touch that ball and turn, they'd be away. And KDB's an extreme example because of how good he is. But the one thing KDB has is he can touch a ball, turn, and he's away. Foden can touch, turn, he's away. Odegaard isn't exactly built like a brick shithouse. But if he touches the ball, spins another midfielder, he's away from him. Mount does it. You think, right, he's away. You get a bit excited, and then suddenly he gets leaned on or gets bars and he's on the floor. But yeah, I'm still not that impressed with Mason Mount. Some United fans are. On Casemiro, it was a tale of 2 systems for me. When we were relaxed and playing our game and not leaving holes, he's fine. In the second half, when we were trying to win, we were leaving him exposed again, and we were conceding all these counterattacks. I think Ugarte helps to stop that, but equally, we have got to learn. This comes from the manager. We have got to be trained and taught to be more composed. We were going hell for leather with 20 minutes to go. That's stupid at 0-0, leaving ourselves open to those counterattacks. We didn't need to play like that. Ironically, the first time in that 20-minute spell from about the 55th minute to the 75th minute, where we, maybe a bit later than that, where we actually got the ball down and played, we scored. And Bruno, great dummy, gets the ball. I thought, don't go long to Garnacho. It might come off, but don't go long. He didn't. He played it inside. Xerxes holds it up, plays it out wide. We get into the box and we score. We've got to be more composed. Too often in that second half, we got the ball, bang, sent it long to one of the wingers. And if they lost the ball or it went out of play, we were straight back to being countered, and it was annoying me. So I haven't got carried away with the win. I'm very happy with the win. It was nice being top for 24 hours. I enjoyed that. But lots more needs to be improved with the system. And a player like Ugarte coming in, I think, really helps us do that. I think we'll be defensively stronger. He's got more legs than Casemiro. I agree with you. I don't think Casemiro's been anywhere near as bad as people are making out. And it's the system that makes him look worse. When we empty our midfield and there's no cover, what's he going to do at 30-odd years of age when he hasn't ever been the fastest player in the world anyway? He's not Kante. So it's about the system. And the biggest thing if I got the chance to sit in front of them, not that fucking listen to me, but if I had the opportunity to, I'd say, I don't know how you coach this. I've never been a football coach, but you need to coach more composure into this team. We don't need to get to 60 minutes at 0-0 or even 1-0 down and panic and basically go, we basically end up with 3 at the back and everybody else in an attacking position and no midfield. It's stupid. You can't build up properly. And if you lose possession, you're fucked. So there's lots of areas for us to improve. But equally, I was impressed with lots of our passages of play. Mazza at right back looked great, but I'd move him to the left, like you say. I was really impressed with Xerxes when he came on, when we actually tried to play the ball rather than going long. Good first touch, good hold-up play, good finish. The only frustrating bit for me is we didn't play the ball into him more. It was all long ball. And I'm thinking, we don't need to go long ball. We didn't need to do that. So, yeah, look, I think there's things for us to be encouraged about, a lot for us to improve on. But there is pressure on Ten Hag to get it right because he's got the structure around him. He's told us that things at the club are calmer. He's told us that it's a more relaxed environment in terms of it isn't chaotic and it's a clear vision. He's loved working with the likes of Ashworth and Wilcock. between him and the board, they've agreed on the players and they're really impressed. I would say every signing so far has raised our level with technical ability. Ugarte will do that as well. Therefore, there is no excuse to not improve from last season.
Well, it's top four or are you getting sacked in it? Let's be honest.
Pretty much. You know, unless he misses out on top four, comes fifth marginally and wins the Europa League and another cup. The football's improved. But as a typical rule, if we don't improve our football and we don't make the top four, my view is this: the project's, we're one game in. We'll be a year into the project, but you can change a manager with a club-led project. You just say, do you know what? There have been improvements. We've got the players, but the manager isn't knitting it together well enough. We ain't starting again, getting a new... We're not starting again with a new manager if he fails this season. We're just adding in a new head coach to continue what we've started this year. That is how we have to operate as a club. And yeah, I'm still excited. I'm excited about what we're going to do. I'm excited about the future of the club. But I'm just not deluding myself into thinking that it's all fixed. It's going to take years to fix this. You know, I'll praise the good bits and I'll criticize the bits that need to improve. But overall, I was quite happy, and we should have just scored more goals. Bruno should have scored 2. Again, would we all be looking at it differently if Bruno tucks those chances away and Xerxes makes it 3-0? Probably. I think we would, but that's part of the game. He's finishing the chances. So yeah, look,
that's the big issue really is scoring goals at Manchester United. I don't know where the goals are going to come from. That's my big question mark. I don't know if it's Højlund, Xerxes, Rashford, goals by committee with all of them. I don't know where the focal point is. That's my biggest question mark with Manchester United. I think upgrading their midfield and defence is great, but they need to score goals, man. I'm not sure they can do that.
Yeah, I think it's more committee, like you say. I actually think Rashford will start scoring again this season. I do. I think he will do it. But I think that Rasmus, if he's fit, can score us again across all comps, 15 to 20 goals. He got 16 last year. I think Xerxes can score a similar amount. I think Bruno can score some. Bruno always does better for me with his goal scoring when he's playing next to a striker, not playing the false 9. I think he just prefers it. There are goals there, but I don't think there's anyone that's going to score 30 to 40 goals across all competitions. It's going to be more about committee, but we have to keep creating the chances. Our biggest issue last year, Rasmus Højlund's conversion rate was around nearly 30%. We just didn't create the chances. Now, you could argue the conversion rate drops more if we create double the chances because you might miss some, but we have to create more gilt-edged chances, and we've done that in the first 2 games. I just want to see more of it as an example, but a big test on Saturday. We go away to Brighton, who looked... they look good. They look really good at the weekend, but still made mistakes. Still made 3 or 4 mistakes themselves playing out from the back. Still conceded loads of attacks against them. So we're going to have chances away from home, and it's going to be a really good test, I think, and I'm excited. So, yeah, onwards and upwards with that one.